Okay, here we go. Monday, Memorial Day. This is the weather update by Bring Me the News. I'm Tom Novak, of course, with Novak Weather, and we're focusing on some thunderstorm activity now over western Wisconsin that created a severe thunderstorm warning or two this morning. So that tells you that we do have a relatively volatile air mass in place, which isn't a surprise given that dew points are in the mid 60s over much of the region, especially southern and eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. A little bit of a nicer day up in northwestern Minnesota, as you can see with these darker areas, which is some sunshine up there. But anyway, we're starting to clear out some over southern and eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. That's going to prime our atmosphere for more thunderstorm development as we go through the evening, especially late evening and overnight hours. All right, here's the radar from the Twin Cities. You can see western Wisconsin, significant shower and thunderstorm activity this morning. And we are starting to dry out here in southern Minnesota and southeastern Minnesota, where little in the way of activity is occurring right now. And I expect that to be the case for at least the next 3 to 6 hours before we really start paying attention to this evening in the overnight hours. In fact, as we zoom out and we take a look at the regional radar, you can see another fairly significant impulse over Nebraska and Kansas now heading northeast. That's going to be our system that's going to affect us as we get into later this evening and the overnight hours. All right, temperatures, here they are, 60s and 70s across the region. More importantly, dew points are in the mid and sometime even upper 60s, especially over southern and eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. You can see a 68 as for a dew point even in Eau Claire. So that's tropical-like as we go into southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin, hence the reason why you are sweating more today than you did in the last previous days. And I think that's going to be the case as we get into tomorrow too. Here is the jet stream, the River Ver at 30,000 feet. It's where the jets put her on cruise control, and it's also our steering winds. And what you see here is a jet streak over eastern North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota, at about 100 knots of wind speed, and usually at the bottom right flank or right rear quad of that jet streak is where thunderstorms and showers like to develop, and that's where southern and eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin is located here later this evening, overnight tonight, and through the day tomorrow, because that jet stream just doesn't move much. The orientation is the same over the next 24 to 36 hours, hence the reason why we're going to keep showers, scattered showers and storms in the forecast through Tuesday evening. In fact, the NAM-NEST computer model guidance shows that. Here's our future radar for later today here in southern, eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin, drying out a little bit over the next 6 hours, but then watch what happens as we go through the nighttime hours. This is around midnight tonight, and then into tomorrow morning. Scattered storms move through. We may get a break as we go into tomorrow morning, at least a few hours of some dry weather, before the next impulse and next round of storms come in later tomorrow afternoon and evening as our atmosphere continues to prime up again with a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. Very similar to today will be our day tomorrow. So needless to say, there's quite a bit going on in our atmosphere, and you need to keep that umbrella handy as we go through the next 24 to 36 hours. All right, well, thank you for joining me for this weather update on Memorial Day. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great afternoon and evening, everybody.